Spanking the Monkey is a dark comedy drama that explores the complexities of familial relationships and the struggles of a young man named Ray Aibelli, played by Jeremy Davies. Directed by David O. Russell, the film opens with Ray returning home for the summer, expecting to intern at a prestigious medical program. However, his plans quickly derail when his overbearing father, Tom Aibelli, portrayed by Benjamin Hendrickson, insists he stay home to care for his mother, Susan, who is bedridden due to a broken leg. Played by Alberta Watson, Susan's character is as enigmatic as she is dependent, setting the stage for a series of emotionally charged interactions between mother and son. Tom, on the other hand, conveniently leaves the picture for a business trip, abandoning Ray to shoulder the burden of caregiving, which quickly becomes a complicated and emotionally taxing endeavor. As Ray settles into his unexpected role, the film delves into the monotony and isolation that accompanies his new responsibilities. Ray's friends have left for the summer, leaving him with little support and increasing his sense of entrapment. The film captures this isolation with a sharp attention to detail, highlighting the claustrophobic environment of the Aibelli household. Ray's interactions with his mother become the focal point of his summer, evolving from awkward and distant to disturbingly close. Alberta Watson's portrayal of Susan is both vulnerable and manipulative, creating a complex dynamic that leaves Ray emotionally confused and increasingly drawn into her orbit. As the days pass, Ray's responsibilities begin to take a psychological toll, exacerbating his feelings of restlessness and frustration. Amidst the domestic tension, Ray's personal life spirals further into chaos as he grapples with adolescent desires and the stifling nature of his circumstances. The film explores Ray's burgeoning sexuality and his awkward attempts to connect with others, which are often thwarted by his overbearing responsibilities at home. A potential romantic interest, Tony Peck, played by Carla Gallo, offers a brief respite from his domestic duties, but their interactions are fraught with the awkwardness and insecurity that plague Ray's life. Tony's presence highlights Ray's yearning for normalcy and connection, yet his inability to break free from his familial obligations ultimately undermines any chance of a meaningful relationship. The film reaches its emotional climax as the relationship between Ray and Susan takes a dramatic and unsettling turn. What begins as a series of seemingly innocuous interactions gradually evolves into an inappropriate and taboo connection, challenging societal norms and pushing the boundaries of familial bonds. David O. Russell handles this sensitive material with a blend of dark humor and uncomfortable realism, forcing the audience to confront the disturbing dynamics at play. This climactic development serves as a catalyst for Ray's eventual breakdown, as he grapples with guilt, confusion, and a profound sense of betrayal. The film does not shy away from the psychological complexities of its characters, offering a raw and unflinching portrayal of an emotionally charged situation. In the aftermath of these events, Ray is left to contend with the consequences of his actions and the impact of his summer at home. The film closes with a sense of ambiguity, as Ray faces a future that is uncertain and fraught with emotional scars. Spanking the Monkey is a provocative exploration of the darker aspects of human relationships, examining themes of isolation, responsibility, and the blurred lines between love and dependency. David O. Russell's directorial debut is both unsettling and thought-provoking, leaving audiences to ponder the complexities of familial bonds and the impact of circumstance on personal development. The film's raw and candid portrayal of its characters and their struggles makes it a compelling and unforgettable piece of cinema. Spanking the Monkey, 1994, is a film notable for its raw and unflinching portrayal of a young man's psychological turmoil, marking the directorial debut of David O. Russell. Behind the scenes, the film was made on a shoestring budget, which pushed Russell and his team to be highly creative with their resources. The production was so financially constrained that Russell had to use his family's home for several key scenes, lending an authentic feel to the film's domestic setting. Interestingly, the film's title, which is a euphemism for masturbation, was a point of contention with distributors who feared it would put off potential audiences. However, Russell insisted on keeping it, believing it encapsulated the film's themes of repressed desires and family dysfunction. The casting process for Spanking the Monkey was unconventional, as Russell was keen on selecting actors who could bring a raw, unpolished authenticity to the roles. Jeremy Davies, who played the protagonist, Ray Aibelli, was relatively unknown at the time. His intense performance was a revelation, capturing the character's internal conflict and confusion with remarkable depth. The chemistry between Davies and Alberta Watson, who played his mother, was pivotal to the film's unsettling dynamic. Their complex relationship on screen was mirrored by an equally intense preparation process off-screen, with both actors engaging in detailed discussions with Russell to explore the psychological nuances of their characters. One of the lesser-known trivia about Spanking the Monkey is its connection to the Sundance Film Festival, where it won the Audience Award, propelling it into the independent film spotlight. This accolade was crucial for the film's success, as it garnered attention from both critics and audiences who might have otherwise overlooked it due to its controversial subject matter. The film's screenplay, also penned by Russell, was highly acclaimed for its dark humor and daring exploration of taboo topics, contributing to its cult status among indie film enthusiasts. Notably, the film's dialogue often includes subtle references to classical literature, hinting at Ray's academic aspirations and adding layers to his character. Psychologically, Spanking the Monkey delves into the complexities of familial relationships and the burdens of obligation and guilt. The film's exploration of incest, though deeply unsettling, serves as a metaphor for the suffocating nature of Ray's circumstances and his desperate struggle for autonomy. Russell's direction deftly illustrates the claustrophobia of Ray's world, using tight framing and oppressive interiors to emphasize his entrapment. The film's psychological impact is further heightened by its unrelenting honesty in depicting Ray's internal conflict and the moral ambiguity surrounding his actions, challenging audiences to grapple with their own perceptions of right and wrong. As an Easter egg, attentive viewers might notice the recurrent motif of broken or malfunctioning objects throughout the film, symbolizing the fractured relationships and emotional dysfunction within the Aibelli household. This subtle detail serves as a visual metaphor for the characters' inability to communicate and connect with one another. Additionally, the use of music in the film is particularly noteworthy, with the soundtrack featuring an eclectic mix of classical and contemporary pieces that underscore the tension and emotional volatility of the narrative. Each musical cue is carefully chosen to reflect Ray's shifting mental state, enhancing the film's psychological depth. The impact and legacy of Spanking the Monkey extend beyond its initial release, as it paved the way for David O. Russell's successful career in Hollywood. Despite its controversial content, the film's critical acclaim and festival success demonstrated that there was an audience hungry for bold storytelling. It inspired a new wave of filmmakers to tackle challenging subjects with honesty and integrity. Moreover, Jeremy Davies' performance caught the attention of the industry, leading to a series of roles that showcased his versatility as an actor. Spanking the Monkey remains a significant piece of cinema in the independent film landscape, remembered for its daring narrative and the breakout talents it introduced to the world.